Welcome to FX Options University, recorded live at the International Securities Exchange, the world's largest equity options exchange. Join the industry's top trading professionals as they provide insight and strategies for trading in the currency markets using FX options. FX options are a low-risk alternative to hedging currency moves in any market condition.
I'm going to start to go through a lot of what I went through today in the Greek class, the option pricing class, but I hope you understand this is sort of the basic of which strike price, because really what I'm saying is it's about leverage. And I hope that's the takeaway from today's webinar. The further the out of the money, the more leverage that you're buying, if you will. If you are trading these out of the money options, you might be selling a lot of leverage. If you're selling the out of the money option, you're selling leverage, so you got to be careful. I'm going to give everyone another couple seconds. Any other questions? Anything to do? It doesn't have to be about which strike price to trade. It might be anything to do with the ISC FX options. Settlement, the terms that are involved, option premium, strike price, puts and calls. Yes, got a question here from John. I recorded this presentation. It will be archived. It's going to be available tomorrow morning. You can go and view it either way. www.isc.com/archives or fxoptions.com. You go there and go to the different events, and it'll be there also. Oh, great question from TJ. This is a great question. And I get this often. Which is better, buying or selling? It's going to depend on what happens in the future. If you're a seller of out-of-the-money options, you're going to be right more often. But your losses are going to be greater when you're wrong. So that's the way you need to think of it. In the long run, there's been a lot of papers out there. Some would say there's no inherent advantage of being a buyer or a seller. But for those of us that are new to trading options and you're interested in probabilities, the probability of success will be much higher if you're a seller of an option, but the risk of selling an option is greater. Does that make sense, TJ? I hope it does. If you are a seller of an option, probability is higher, but your risk is greater. But there are ways around it, if you will, by doing credit spreads to limit that risk. Another question from TJ. Would it be better to have some sells and some longs at all times? That's what they teach in a lot of the more advanced classes is, first of all, being flexible enough to target either being a buyer or being a seller. Not always being a seller or not always being a buyer. That's a great point, TJ, yes. And if you want to come back and learn more about spreads, spreads are a great way to be a buyer and a seller on one particular trade. So you put a spread on. You might buy the 104 and sell the 106. That's called a vertical spread. And I'll talk more about that in future webinars. All right, I'm going to give everybody another 15 seconds or so. I want to thank everyone for attending, unless we have any more questions, which I'm still monitoring the questions. I want to remind everyone, February 2nd, I'll be back doing the Back to Basics, how do option orders affect FX options prices. February 4th, Trading Central, 10 a.m. On February 4th, they'll be talking about their opinions, how they view the markets. And then on February 9th, Jason Ayers will be talking, he'll be the guest speaker, adjusting your option strategies to the volatility of the marketplace. And then on February 11th, I'm doing Back to Basics again, FX options prices. Question about liquidity. Interestingly enough, our volume has been very, very low, but the bid-ask spreads are very, very tight, TJ. So what I would recommend is that if your normal size is maybe, let's say it's a 10 lot, maybe you get involved here trading a 1 or a 2 lot. Get used to it. That's the way I look at it. Or do some virtual trades. So we've had some lumpy volume. We had a lot of volume in certain products a couple weeks ago, and it's been less, although we had, it has been increasing over longer periods of time. But we hope that we get the message out that this product is there for all of you to decide, want to be long or short or even neutral the dollar. There's ways to trade with even less view of the dollar, if you will. You might have a view on long volatility or short volatility. Terry has a question about putting stops on option trades. Yes, you can do that. Your broker, just about every broker allows you to do that, and we at the ISC will, of course, allow those orders. Minju says, welcome to the 2010 Olympics. I was in Vancouver 3 times last year, so I wish I was going to be there for the Olympics, but enjoy the Olympics if you're out there in Vancouver. Oh, thanks. You have passes. I wish I was going to be there. If I was going to be there, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Any questions regarding ISCFX options? I want to thank all of you for attending today. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, the webinars at the ISC, we're doing the Back to Basics, which are just about options like I gave today. Then we have the guest speakers, such as John Person yesterday. If you missed John's presentation, go back. Check it out. It was very powerful, talking about seasonality. John does a great job on his analysis of seasonality. Check it out. The next guest speaker will be Jason Ayers on February 9th, followed by Mike Tuso on February 17th. So we have these guest speakers. We also have Trading Central that'll be coming in. Trading Central will do their presentations 10 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock for those of you out in Vancouver or the West Coast. So please check it out. Well, I think that's all we have for this evening. I want to thank all of you for attending the ISC. Today was the Back to Basics, where I, Steve Meizinger, presented a little bit about which strike price to trade. Strike prices are really determine leverage. Once you determine where you want to be in that leverage curve, you can select the appropriate strike price for you. Again, thanks for attending. Please go back, check out the archives, and go and bookmark fxoptions.com and sign up for the virtual trading contest and trader forum, the weekly outlook, so many things there. We're the leaders in FX options education. Thanks so much for attending. This is Steve Meizinger saying have a great evening. Looking forward to you coming back next week, February 2nd, where I'll be giving a presentation on how do option orders affect FX options prices. Thank you and good night. On behalf of the ISC, this is Steve Meizinger wishing you a great evening. Thank you now.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. Get trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary. Visit www.fxoptions.com. ISC FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.